I swear, technology just gets on my last nerve. Well, just don't worry about pulling it up. Just follow along with me at this point. All right, so we're just going to work these out. All right. All right, so for each of these, we're looking at some word problems. We're going to write a function. All right, for these first few, we're just writing the function. Some of the ones later, we're actually going to solve them for different things. So write a function rule. So if you remember on Friday, we talked about function notation was like this, f of x, right? Instead of writing a y. So if I'm looking at writing an equation for this word problem, it says the price P of an ice cream is $3.95 plus 85 cents for each topping T. So this is going to be P is my function. The price of my ice cream is going to be dependent upon how many toppings I get. So P of T equals, it's $3.95 plus 85 cents per topping T. So my price per topping, P of T, is going to be 3.95 plus 0.85 times T. That's going to tell me how much my ice cream cone would cost depending on how many toppings I got. And so it just said write a function rule. So that's it. Okay, number 2, a babysitter's earnings E are a function of the number of hours in worked at a rate of $7.25 per hour. How do you think this one might look? Well, we know it's $75, or not $70, $7.25 per hour. Wish this thing would stop freezing. So I know it's going to be equal to 7.25 per hour. What was representing hours? In. So 7.25 in. Then I need some function notation here on the left side. What's it going to be? My earnings are E. My number of hours are N. Got to have my function notation. So remember, I'm trying to look for something like this. N. E of N. Yep. So this is my earnings per hour. Okay, number 3. The price P of a club's membership is $30 for the enrollment fee and $12 per week, and weeks RW. And so let's think about the equation part of it. So it's going to be equals. If I'm going to join this club as this gym as a member, what am I going to have to pay? $30 plus what else? Say it again. $12 a week, so it's going to be 12W, because W is weeks, right? So it's $30 to sign up plus $12 a week. And now I got to have my function notation on the left. What's it going to be? P of W, P parentheses W. The price based on the number of weeks. Okay. I got a few more to look at. A plumber's fees, F, are $75 for a house call and $60 per hour, H. What's our equation going to be? 75, 60, H. And our function, F, parentheses H. Very good. F of H. Number 5. A hot dog, D, cost $1 more than 1/2 the cost of a hamburger. $1 more than half the cost of a hamburger. And so what's our equation? 1 more than. How would I write that? 1 plus 1/2 cost of a hamburger, H. Need my function notation, D parentheses H. The hot dogs cost based on the hamburgers cost. Okay, number 6. Jose is 3 years younger than 3 times his brother's age. Write a rule that represents Jose's age, J, as a function of his brother's age, B. How old is Jose if his brother is 5? All right, so let's just worry about writing the rule first. So Jose's age is going to be J. And it is 3 years younger than 3 times his brother's age. And his brother's age is B. So Jose based on his brother, J of B. Three years younger than, what does that mean? Minus 3, right? 3 times his brother's age, 3B. So 3 times his brother's age minus 3, because it says it's 3 years younger than that. So there's our function for Jose. J of B equals 3B minus 3. 3 times his brother's age minus 3. Now they want us to figure out how old is Jose if his brother is 5. So let's see. This is telling me basically to do what is J of 5. If his brother is 5, we want to find J of 5. So like the problems we were just doing, I'm going to plug in 5 for B, and I'm going to simplify it. All right, 18 minus 3 is going to be 15. Yep. So Jose is 15 years old. Oh, okay. I wasn't even catching that. Thank you. I don't know where I got 18 from. All right, so now let's see, 15 minus 3 is going to be what? 12. There we go. So Jose is 12 years old. All right. Questions? All right, I'm going to skip that next one. There are a few more on this next page. I want to go over some of these. So write a function rule for the area of a rectangle with a length of 3 feet more than 2 times its width. So let's just worry about writing the function to start out with. So we can use A for area. Can use L for length and W for width. So for the first part, let's just write out what is the length. The length is equal to 3 feet more than 2 times its width. How would you write that out algebraically? 3 feet more than. 3 plus 2 times its width. 2W. So this represents my length, and then this represents my width. How do you find the area of a rectangle? All right, so I'm just going to jot that over here to the side. Area equals length times width. And so let's write out that equation. What is my length? 3 plus 2W. All right, parentheses. All right, that means times. All right, what's my width? Just W. All right, don't worry about the bottom part yet. All right, we're just writing the function. So it's W. All right, so this is my function. What's my function notation going to be? Area. What variable is going to go inside? W, because everything over here is in terms of W. So the area based on the width, this is how we can find it. So there's my function rule. Now we'll go to that second part where it says, what is the area if the width is 4? So I basically want to find A of 4. What are we going to do with that 4? Plug it in for W. So it's going to be parentheses 3 plus 2 times 4 times 4. I put 4 in place of both of my W's. So let's simplify this. How would you start it out? Okay, and we get what? 8. Then what? All right, add 3 plus 8 and get 11. All right, multiply and we get 44. So the area, if the width is 4, is 44. Any questions there on number 8? All right, let's jump down to 10. The function w of x equals 60x represents the number of words w of x you can type in x minutes. How many words can you type in 9 minutes? How are we going to figure out how many words you can type in 9 minutes? This is our function right here. Oops. All this right here. There's our function. How are we going to figure out how many words you can type in 9 minutes? Set up here, x is the number of minutes. Right, so just plugging in 9 right here for x. So it's going to be 60 times 9. Plugging in 60 in for 9, or excuse me, 9 in for x, because x is the number of minutes. So what's 60 times 9? 540. So you can type 540 words in 9 minutes based on this function. Let's look at number 12. A high school is having a pancake breakfast fundraiser. They have 3 packages of pancake mix that each feed 90 people. The function n of p equals 90p represents the number of people in p that p packages of pancake mix can feed. What is the maximum number of people that it can feed? We have 3 packages. How are we going to figure out how many people that could feed? Remember, P is packages. Multiply what? Right, do 90, and in place of P, put my 3, because I have 3 packages. So 90 times 3, we get, so we can feed 270 people with those 3 packages of pancake mix. All right, we're going to do one more. We're going to do 13. A charter boat travels at a maximum rate of 25 miles per hour. The function d of x equals 25x represents the distance d of x in miles that the boat can travel in x hours. So this is distance in miles for d of x. The charter boat travels a maximum distance of 75 miles from the shore. How many hours will it travel this distance and return to shore? So basically, they want us to figure out how many hours it's going to take him to go out 75 miles and come back to shore. So really, he's traveling how far? He's going out 75 miles and he's got to come back 150. So he's traveling. So my distance, my d of x, is 150 miles. That's how far they're traveling. But they want us to figure out, well, how many hours is that going to take him to do that? And this is my function. D of x equals 25x. How can I figure out how many hours x is going to take? Know how far he's traveled. I've got this equation. How can I find x, the number of hours? Go ahead. Divide what? 25 by 150? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Say that again. We are dividing? Yes, we are going to divide. Right, we're going to divide 150 by 25 because it says right here, d of x is this. So if this is my function, and I know d of x is 150, well, it probably makes sense if I just plug it in there. And then, yes, I am going to end up dividing by 25 to get that x by itself. So I plugged this. This was a little bit different. This was opposite of what we have been doing. We are plugging in what we know the function is and then finding the other side. So what is 150 divided by 25? 6. So it's going to take them 6 hours to go out 75 miles and then come back to shore. Any questions? All right, let's look